So we started the conversation talking about Russia's annexation of Crimea. And what's interesting is while in the West this has been deeply criticized and no Western institution or country has recognized Russia's occupation and annexation of Crimea as legitimate, even the most liberal Russians in Russia today will still say Krym nash, which means Crimea is ours. This was rightfully our territory, right? They have very different thoughts about Russia's military intervention in eastern Ukraine, which most Russians disapprove of having a war with the Ukrainians. This is one reason why Russia's state media has almost completely stopped reporting on Ukraine today, what's happening there, and why Russian officials have always denied any presence in eastern Ukraine. It is deeply unpopular with the Russian people. The idea of Russian soldiers fighting in Ukraine with a friendly country, the Ukrainians have always been seen as a friendly people to the Russians. There are many family relations between Ukrainians and Russians, and they've always disapproved of that. But certainly, if you look at polls since the 1990s in Russia, I think opinions have shifted quite dramatically. I think most Russians now do not agree that Central Asian countries or the Caucasus or Ukraine or Belarus, any of these former Soviet states, should be part of Russia today. So in that sense, the Russian people do see those countries as independent of Russia, and do not want a war in which Russian soldiers die fighting with those friendly neighbors. But I think at the same time, they want to see a Russia that is a world power and certainly a regional power for Eurasia at large.